Chin Dobre YouTube, Ivitami to another episode of Atticus Eats. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, we are at a new location and a very new restaurant for me today. And I am so ecstatic, as I always am, to be able to try something new for you all. But first things first, my dear friends, I want to wish you a very merry post-Christmas and an anticipatory Happy New Year to you all. I hope that 2025 is nothing but blessed for each and every one of you. And my dear friends, I am so grateful for every single one of you for allowing me the opportunity to be able to make my YouTube channel my work. This has been an immense joy-filled blessing for me. I have relished and cherished every moment that I've been able to share with all of you collectively, not only here on my YouTube channel, but also on my Twitch channel, which is continuously growing, and I have all of you to thank for that as well. Every single one of you who graciously will make a Twitch account, or if you already have Twitch, you follow me on my channel. The link for that is always in the description box below, and it's also on my Instagram page. I had a very kind lady in Russia let me know, actually, that my link was no longer valid on my Instagram page, and so I was able to correct that, and I have noticed the flood of new people coming in ever since then. So all of you, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. You bring me such immense joy, and these videos that we get to have together, I should say these meals that we get to have together, are truly a profound blessing for me, and I am so grateful that I get to share this with all of you, and that you all take the time to listen to my stories, get to know the actual Atticus, not just the character on TV. That means the world to me, so thank you all so very much for that. And now, like always, there is inspiration for these videos, my dear friends, and Christmas has just occurred. Actually, today is the first day of Hanukkah, so if you're celebrating Hanukkah, I wish you all a happy Hanukkah. But I was thinking to myself, because normally a traditional movie that I've watched many times is obviously A Christmas Story. And at the end of that movie, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, at the end of that movie, when the pack of dogs ruin the Christmas dinner that Ralphie's family prepared, Ralphie's mom prepared for them, they end up going to a Chinese restaurant because it was the only restaurant that was open on Christmas Day. And just thinking about that in light of, like, the amazing time of the Italian restaurant that we were able to have in the last episode, and then, of course, this week has been a week of amazing food at home that Mom and I have been able to have. I was saying to myself, and I'm going, okay, I want something different, I want something new, something that I've not had before, and what's something that I can share with my friends? So, of course, I took to the Google, and thinking about Ralphie and his family going to the Chinese restaurant, I was like, I wonder if there are really good Chinese restaurants that are within driving distance from me, beyond just Panda Express, which we've already done here on the channel, and of course that's more of an Americanized a Chinese fast food, right? And this restaurant came up. But this is called D&D Fire Art Cuisine. This is a relatively new Chinese restaurant because this shopping center is a relatively new one. And when I say new, I mean it's been here at least maybe 5 years or something like that, right? And when I looked this up on Google, this restaurant has almost 5-star reviews across the board. It comes in at a 4.8, and I was looking at the menu and just the rave reviews of this place, and I'm going, this sounds absolutely incredible, and I definitely want to be able to try it with you all. Now, the thing is, and I want to be able to touch on this a little bit more as we get deeper into the video, but when I think of a Chinese restaurant, you all know that I love traditional things. Tradition! Last week, being able to go to the Italian restaurant and behold the glory that was that traditional, real deal Italian restaurant made my heart so ridiculously and incredibly happy, and it did so for all of you who watched that video, and if you haven't yet, please go check it out. That I've just been on this passionate, desirous, like, quest to find more restaurants like that, because it brought me so much joy to be able to experience that. And to me, that is the epitome of what America is, where it's not supposed to be that a bunch of people collectively come together and force their culture or force their country of origin on you. No, it's where they are coming, and they are coming to America to pursue all that is American and assimilate to American society. But part of the beauty of American society is being able to have things like, whether it be museums or wonderful restaurants, where it is part of their culture, and they're sharing their culture with you. Not forcing, sharing their culture with you. So again, if it's food, perhaps it's a specific type of art, like, blown glass, or a specific style of jewelry making, or a specific style of basket weaving, whatever it may be. It's a sharing of that culture with all of us here in America. And I absolutely love and adore that concept of it. And the Italian restaurant was an absolute prime example of the epitome of that. They had everything from Italian music to Italian artwork to Italian food in the real deal way, Italian decor, right? You got to be immersed in this beautiful shared experience of that culture. And so I was looking that up. And again, when I think of that, I'm thinking of the ancient Chinese way. The pagodas, the beautiful statues, the Chinese zodiac calendar, all the different art forms of tea, to paintings, to music, to all of those things. And being a Californian especially, my mind immediately goes to Chinatown. Now, again, I'm going to hit pause on this topic because I want to be able to get into the food. Because I'm starving, and I want to be able to share it with you all. But the long and the short of it is, I didn't know what to expect as far as the design of this restaurant. Going into it, the first thing right out of the gate is the fact that I am so thoroughly impressed by the service at this restaurant. It was two young Chinese immigrants, and clearly it's a family-owned restaurant. Chinese immigrants had the absolute most kind, attentive, demeanor, professionalism possible. Very kind to me. The guy who took my order, he was like, "How can I help you today?" Had the biggest smile on his face. I said I want to make a takeout order. Immediately handed me a real deal actual menu, not just a paper printout that they have a dime a dozen of. An actual real deal beautiful menu. I got to make my decisions of what I wanted. And again, very clean restaurant. But again, I'm going to get into that a little bit more later on. And very kind, wished me a happy new year, because it's not the new year yet, obviously today at time of recording this. And man, they were just on it, right? Very professional, absolutely on it with everything. Asked me if I wanted utensils and everything like that. And I didn't know what to expect as far as this restaurant as a whole, but as well as the food, because it's my first time going there. Can we just talk about the fact that this is an actual reusable takeout bag? That now I get a souvenir, if you will, from my experience today at this restaurant. That tickles me pink. And it's got the panda on the opposite side. They were very big on pandas. I don't know what the D&D stands for this particular restaurant. It may be something to do with the panda. But yeah, D&D Chinese cuisine. That is so awesome. And so we're going to just jump right on into this. And you guys, I am so thrilled. First of all, obviously we have our napkins here. But they gave me both a fork and a pair of Yoshida bamboo chopsticks. Like, that is awesome. It's not Panda Express, here's a fork and a knife only, and it's hyper anglicized. No, we've got our chopsticks, real deal, being able to enjoy our food. And I got several things. So first, to start with, we have some crab wontons to start off our meal adventure today. And then, what I love, I don't know what's in this exactly. It's very hot, so I'm going to definitely need to let it cool. But it's actually a Chinese takeout box. And that thrills me. Because this is what I want to see when going to a Chinese restaurant, especially if I get takeout. It's the sticky rice. It's the flippin' sticky rice, you guys. Oh my word. Look at that. That's gorgeous. That is so awesome. So I actually have the little Chinese, traditional takeout Chinese box of sticky rice. That makes me so happy. I'm gonna set this up here, and I'll because it's very hot, I'm gonna let that cool a bit, and I'll get into that here in a minute. And then our main dish, which I'll get to here after I try and sample one of these wontons, is Kung Pao chicken, and it's got peanuts in it, and green onion. And it just sounded so incredibly wonderful. Kung Pao chicken is definitely a favorite dish of mine if it's done right. Of course, I really love the orange chicken and stuff like that too. But I have recently discovered some amazing... Really? Do you want to open, sir or ma'am? There we go. Oh. Dude. I left the parking lot for the restaurant, and I came over here. It's a more vacant segment of this strip mall. And the whole drive over, I was salivating, because this was just bathing my vehicle in all the good odors. And I am so grateful for this restaurant, because they are no MSG added to their food. I don't know if it's no MSG added or no MSG at all. I'll have to look at my B-roll footage that I took in there. But, yeah, that was really cool to see. Because if it's really good food, like, little Atticus wants to come back, but not, you know, die, because his brain explodes. Okay, so, a little thingamabobber of a really freaking good smelling sweet and sour sauce. I'm gonna just dabble a little on one of these wontons. Boom. Just like that. So, I did get extra food, because I wanted Mama Bear to be able to try this. And so I want to bring home leftovers. I'm grateful that there's rice. Mom can't do spicy, so the spicy will be for me, but she can absolutely do some sticky rice and some crab wontons. This is insanely cool. That little dabble, you see it right there? Okay, might be hot. I may exclaim, but here we go. Perfect eating temperature. Hold up. It's crab meat, cream cheese, and scallions. Dude. Oh my gosh. Wow. You guys. I didn't even get a chance to say, but Nezdrovia. Oh. Oh my gosh. There's a little bit of saltiness with the crab meat and with the cream cheese. You get the warmth and the stickiness of the cream cheese. But you also get like that little gentle, warm, earthy taste of the scallions. It's that whisper of an onion flavor. Holy shnikes. Okay. Wow. Wow. Mom needs to eat these. Okay. So I'm going to preserve this up for her. And dang. Can we just say dang? Right out of the gate. I think that's probably the best crab wonton I've had in my life. And I swear to you, I am not, like, just hyping up a place because I'm here. You all know if I don't like a place. I'll say it. Withdraw my Kung Pao. Now that's a portion. Okay, let's take a bite of some sticky rice. Now the real way that, well, not the real way, but a way that I really enjoy sticky rice and Kung Pao is to combine the two and be able to just have it be where, you know, like the sauce gets all over the rice. Well, hello, Mr. Rice. Or should I say, orosh? Poland does have a word for rice. Polish does have a word for rice, I should say. It's both. Orosh. Dude, holy cow. And it was really sweet, too. So they literally just opened. Apparently, this restaurant doesn't open till 11. I got there like 11:15. And so they were just getting themselves set up, like getting their lights on. You guys saw in the B-roll footage, they were turning on the cotton candy machine. And, it was, there was a family that came in and they were just sitting down. And the family called the waiter by name. And so clearly it's a regular place for them, right? And they were so sweet, dude. The waiter was immediately saying Merry Christmas to them. You know, how was it? How was your holiday? You know, all that good stuff. Alright. I'm also going to leave this for leftovers. And we need to get into the main course. My hand is burning. But I wanted to show you. That looks really pretty. Oh, smells amazing. Oh, I got some sauce on my jeans. Oh well. I wear my clothes. So, okay. Nizdarovia. Kung Pao with peanuts and green onions. They put some chili peppers in there too. Oh my gosh. Let's make sure it wasn't just a fluke. Out of 10. 10 out of 10, you guys. My word. Y'all, this is so flippin' freaking tender. Tender. Juicy. Juicy, not dry meat. Very tender. Cooked all the way through. No grizzle. No burn bits. Saturated in the most delicious Kung Pao sauce you've ever had in your life. Very rich, deep umami flavor. I'm not getting a lot of spice. I don't know if it's just like voluntary that you just like pick up a pepper and eat it. I know that there's spices in it. It's not plain. But this is not setting my mouth on fire at all. Which, to be fair, I mean, I eat stuff that other people would just absolutely cringe at. But, still, I'm not getting any heat. I'm getting exclusively flavor, no heat. And oh my word, y'all. This is outstanding. I am blown away. I am so blown away. I am so freaking grateful that I looked this up today. And that, again, causation is I want to make a video with you all. And the result is amazing food. And, like, discovery of new places. Wow. Wow. I am so thoroughly impressed. And you get the bites of peanut, and it's that wonderful crunch with just a gentle salty flavor. This is incredible. This is outstanding. I want to ask you all, because I know that there are so many of you from a wide space of all over the United States of America, up and over to other countries. I want to ask you all, have any of you, or is it in your neck of the woods, do any of you have like a traditional Chinatown? Do any of you have an old school cool Chinatown that has, again, the pagodas, the statues, the tea and spice stores, the interesting knick-knack stores, the restaurants, etc.? Please comment down below because I'm curious. Or have any of you ever been to the Los Angeles Chinatown? The actual, real, the way it used to be. Like, we're reaching all the way back to, like, the 60s version of Chinatown. I'd love to hear. I'd love to know. And I'm going to get to a point here in a minute. I would also love to know, do you guys have a favorite Chinese restaurant dish? What do you like to get? Oh my word. Friends, that was hands down probably the best Chinese food that I have personally ever had. And it's amazing because I've gone through an evolution of that. You know, growing up, especially when you're a kid and you're learning your taste buds and all that other stuff, I was really into the Panda Express, obviously. And obviously I still have a lot of good memories with Panda Express, and I shared that with you all. But like I had even mentioned in my Panda Express video, I very much have grown to not like it because it's far, far, far too greasy. It's a very greasy type of food, very oily, and man, it gets to a point where it's just overpowering as such. And especially depending on the time of day, if you're getting a batch that is not fresh and it's just been sitting there, it's particularly nasty. And I remember, and this kind of hinges on the Disney World topic of the last episode, that when we went to film in the Disney World episode, I had mentioned that I could care less about the rides, but I was really interested in the food. And one of the food places that I particularly liked was they had an Asian restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, that was over there by, I don't remember the name of the ride, but it became a Yeti ride. It was like Shangri-La was the theme in Animal Kingdom. And that restaurant was awesome. I really, really, really greatly enjoyed that restaurant. And there was a day where the Hex were in Animal Kingdom for whatever reason, and we went there. And as that happened, there was like a half-hour reprieve that I had, and so I was able to sit down and eat at this restaurant because we were there, and I was starving. And so I remember eating there, and it was particularly good there. And I had always, like, kind of over-romanticized it in a way because it's something that I don't have access to all the time. And so I always considered that to be one of the best Chinese restaurants I've ever eaten at. I really don't think that it was, but there was this fondness of a memory, right? So, fast forward a few years, and my mom and I discovered this wonderful Chinese influence, more of a fast food restaurant called Pei Wei. And I don't know if any of you still have Pei Weis around you, or if you've ever eaten at one, but that was a place that was really awesome. It wasn't just exclusively Chinese food, though. It was kind of like Asian food as a whole, because they had sushi there, which was okay. It was good, it wasn't great. But what really made it were these bento boxes that they would have, where you could get like a Kung Pao chicken, or an orange chicken, or a teriyaki chicken, or a General Tso's chicken, which was what I would always get, and I think my mom did too. And you got your rice, and you got a little bit of sushi, and you got these crab wontons, and it was just like an all-in-one thing. And I remember going there all the time, pre-COVID. And then COVID happened, and we weren't able to go there forever. And then we finally went there one day in like 2021, and I remember that we walked in, and it was such a stark contrast because it was so different. There was no one there, and they didn't have the bento boxes anymore. And what little portions you could get were so high in price, they literally, because of COVID, were driven out of business. Somebody's leaf blowing in the neighborhood over yonder. Hopefully that's not terrible on the audio for you all. I apologize. But it's out of my control. And anyway, so Pei Wei was on the list of like, this is my favorite Chinese food. And then they went the wayside. Ours closed. I don't know if the entire organization closed down and went out of business, or if it's just the one that was near me. And let me know, because I'm curious to see if any of you still have them somewhere. But I am not kidding when I say, last time we got to find the best Italian restaurant, and now I believe that this is the best Chinese food restaurant that I have personally ever experienced. There's no weird aftertaste to the food. Knowing that they don't do the MSG is like huge, but you still get all the flavor. And this tastes like real food. It doesn't taste like fake fraudulent food. It tastes like real food. And that makes me so absurdly happy. Like, this is just hitting all the different flavor profiles of the unique taste of Chinese food, right? But now, I want to circle back, if you all don't mind, to the topic that I started the video with. And, that is the concept of a traditional Chinese restaurant and traditional things as a whole. Especially per the culture that, in the case of like restaurants, they're emulating. It really makes me laugh that last week I was talking about how sick and tired I am of the hyper-industrial, looks like a hotel room, black and gray and that's it, aesthetic that is permeating a lot of different eateries these days. And then what happens, we walk into an eatery that literally, that's the decor. You get a blue whale, and then the bubblegum pink cotton candy machine, and that's your only touch of color, like in the whole restaurant. And then after that, you have your neutrals, as the millennials want to call them. Lame. I am not bagging on the restaurant because clearly the food is outstanding. 10 out of 10 across the board. Wontons, the kung pao, the sticky rice, everything. Even the aesthetic of the to-go bag. Like, that is 10 out of 10 across the board. But when I think of like Chinese food and Chinese restaurants, it was funny because I brought up to my mom, hey, I'm gonna be going here today, and I'd like, you know, I want to be able to bring back leftovers, and also, do you want anything? Because if you want some extra food, I'll get it for you and bring it back. And so Mom took the time to look at the website and then look at the menu. And it was funny because what happened is it prompted this amazing memory lane discussion with my mom. Because my mom was able to share with me her experiences growing up as a California native to Southern California, and the joy that used to be actual Chinatown in Los Angeles. And she actually went down this rabbit trail of viewing all these different, like, videos and looking up images and stuff like that. And it was breaking her heart because it is not the same the way that it was. And the magic and the rich, beautiful, traditional Chinese culture of Chinatown has gone the wayside. And it's horrific. My mom was sharing a plethora of memories with me. And the thing is I want to be able to talk about a couple of them. However, I don't want to rob her, because listening to her convey... See, you all don't know, I get my capability of storytelling from my mom. I love stories because of my mom. I have any semblance of artistic prowess because of my mom. And my mom has been able to do a few videos here on the channel, and if you look back, you'll be able to find them and discern which ones they were. It was back in 2020. And my mom did some garden vlogs and some recipes and stuff like that. And what's really cool is as this channel grows, even her videos are getting pushed through on the algorithm here on the channel, and I love that because you all are able to hear her voice and hear her sense of humor and see like her recipes, her garden the way it used to be, etc. I'm really wanting, and I talked about this with Mom, that I would love to be able to have my mom sit with me on a video with all of you and be able to share those memories. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get her and the timing is going to work out where we can do that for this video. If it is, then we're going to roll into that footage right now. But if it isn't, I'll probably make a subsequent video where it's her talking about her memories. Because the thing is this, my mom, with her being my elder, she doesn't just have knowledge. My mom has wisdom. And wisdom, the definition of wisdom is applied knowledge. She has references to things. She can paint a picture with her words to describe what things were like before. And the thing is that blesses me as a young person because I listen to my mom's stories. And she's an older parent too, by the way. There is an age gap between my mom and I. But that I love because my mom taught me that there was and there is far more to life than what we see now. Technology has really dumbed down people, and it's terrifying. And there's also been a lot of pushing of agendas, obviously, culturally, globally, worldwide, that are very unhealthy. They're not good. And thankfully, that's now deviating away from that. And I want to see it deviate away from it even more. We need to get back into traditional values. Especially here in the United States of America, which I believe we're marching our way towards, thank God. And it's interesting to me because walking into this restaurant, I was going, it looks like a hotel. It's clean, and I like the cleanliness of it. I love the food, and I'm very thrilled by the kindness and the friendliness of the staff. 5 stars all the way across the board for that. But when I think of traditional Chinese restaurants, I'm wanting to see the artwork and that rich, beautiful oriental blue, oriental red, oriental orange with the brass and the gold embellishments that make it an intriguing, interesting, rich place. I want to be able to see, traditional Chinese heritage and where they come from, and hear the old school cool music. All of these different interesting elements that make it unique. Again, it's the desire to steer away from homogenization, which has been an unfortunate norm globally for a few years now, and get back to uniqueness, because we're all made to be unique, and we should be thriving within that uniqueness that makes us interesting, that makes us intriguing, that makes us different in the appropriate way, right? Let America be America, right? And then let Germany be Germany, and Brazil be Brazil, and all of those unique, interesting elements to all the unique, interesting countries, let that be there. And then, if I, and I'm speaking as an American here in America, if I, of my own volition, desire to experience that culture, go to a place that possesses that, and is very proud about that, is on display about that, for their traditional values and culture, etc., that they want to share with others, and then it becomes more experiential. But, adding to that, I also know because I watched the tutorial video of the cotton candy machine while I was sitting and waiting for my food. I looked over and I noticed that they had a Chinese woman who was a model who was demonstrating how the cotton candy machine works, right? And number one, the cotton candy machine is super cool. Like, that's awesome. Definitely want to try it sometime. But number two, the woman was industrialized, looked like she worked in a hotel. And then the background for the video of where the machine was for where they filmed this tutorial looked exactly like the restaurant, but it wasn't the restaurant. It was all neutral, bland, no artwork, completely vacant of anything that was interesting, anything decor. And I sat back and I go, wait a minute. This isn't a traditional Chinese restaurant in their design, but this is an accurate, modern Chinese restaurant. Because this is what all of their buildings and the aesthetic looks like in China. And my mind went to how sad that really is. Because how can you be enriched if you don't have artwork on your walls? And how do you preserve history if you don't have mementos to those things? Which is part of the purpose of art. Whether it's music or storytelling or book writing or even visual stuff. Paintings, drawings, some sort of calligraphy, cinematography. You can't preserve history without that stuff. And it caused me this sadness, because then you take it a step further and you go, well, wait, it's now to the point where you have multiple generations now who have been raised knowing no other way. I'm one of the last who knows what it was like to live without smartphones and knows that it was objectively better. And so that really was a real like mental journey that I had while I was sitting there waiting for my food, and I wanted to share that with you all. Friends, this hyper-industrialized thing that they're pushing to be the norm must end. If you as an individual want to live a minimalist lifestyle, you're allowed to do that. Here in America, you have the freedom to make that choice. But what has to end is this mindset of it needing to be forced upon everybody, and it must be this way and no other way. We should have artwork. We should have knickknacks and interesting things that we look at and evokes an emotion. We should feel emotions. We should not be drugged and doped up all the time where we don't feel anything except anxiety or you're passed out, right? And they need to be teaching kids this. The young people, if you're listening to me, young people, you have to get away from devices. You have to get away from people that are trying to force upon you a wrong way of living. We were made to be in a garden. We were made to work the earth. We were made to smell pine trees and rain. We were made to feel the difference between sand and dirt and mud and snow and gravel and rock and river water. We were made to experience unique and interesting tastes and the textures and the art of food. We were made to listen to bird song, or a cow mooing, or a horse neighing, or an owl hooting. Life is supposed to be sensory. It is not supposed to be stark. It's not supposed to be sterile. It's not supposed to be sterile. It's supposed to be fruitful. It is, my friends. I know that I went off kind of on a long thought process, but especially after hearing the rich stories that my mom shared, I needed to say it. It needs to be said. Success is not about money or how many followers you have on Instagram, or, you know, doing drugs or drinking or sex or blah 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 blah. That's not a well-lived life. A well-lived life, God's word says that we should strive to live a quiet and peaceful life, because this is honorable and pleasing to Him. So if you're doing animal husbandry, or you're homesteading, or even if you're not, even if you just live in a mobile home somewhere down south, and you're surrounded by beautiful, like, little things on bookshelves or on your kitchen counter, if you love your linens or your paintings, gosh, I mean, Mom and I have fallen in love with a channel that's called Mudlarking with Kit and Caboodler, and they have another channel called The Miniature World of Kit and Caboodler, and it's a mother and a daughter, and I think they live in Cornwall, England, and they find broken pieces of old school things from, like, the Victorian era as they mudlark, which is like combing beaches and riverbanks. And they find stuff and they give it new life. And they live in a home that's full of, like, their doll houses with their little miniatures, and they make these beautiful scenes and all this other stuff. They may be monetarily poor, but they are still living a life worth living. And God bless them, they're having success here on YouTube by showcasing that. And it's like, that is beauty. That is something that they're passionate about, that's tactile, that allows them to go into that artistic side of their brain and have healing and have peace. And then they surround themselves with those memories and with those artistic pieces that they make and those things that they showcase. And it's like, how beautiful is that? That is actually beautiful. Never feel bad, my friends. Even if all you do is collect spoons or postcards, you know, or even Legos. You know, Legos or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or you collect vinyl records or CDs, you know, or instruments. Whatever it may be that you've chosen to surround yourself in, do not feel ashamed for that. Enjoy those things. Relish those things. They're gifts. We're meant to live fruitful lives, not sterile lives. We're meant to live, to learn about our emotions, and then, of course, to be disciplined in our emotions. Not stoic. Disciplined. I'm feeling this way. Why? I want to either engage in that or not. You know, that's healthy for me or it isn't. Etc., etc. Have emotional maturity and depth, which leads to mental maturity and depth, and vice versa. They all hinge on each other. A reflective video, my friends. A reflective video today. My friends, you are awesome. Thank you so much for watching today. And again, if it hasn't been attached to this video already, I am going to try to get Mama Debbie to sit with me. I want her to share the memories that she has of Chinatown. Of Chinatown the way that it used to be, I should say. And so thank you so much for watching, my dear friends. Do me a favor. If you like what you see here, please hit the thumbs up button on this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and please be sure to share this video on all of your social media. Greatly helps me out and gets the algorithm pushing this video out there so more like-minded people can join us here in the community. Also, do me a favor, check out the links in the description box below. There will be a link to my Twitch channel, and I go live on Twitch most often every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Sometimes I change around the schedule, but no matter what, it's a fun experience, and it's so much fun. It's a blast to be able to hang out with you all on Twitch and fellowship and play games and have fun. But also, too, my Cameo page is down in the description box below. If you would like to make yours or your loved one's special day or celebration extra special, whatever it may be, new job, anniversary, birthday, New Year, Valentine's Day is coming up. If you want to give your special someone a nice little message from little Atticus, please be sure to book me down in the description box below on my Cameo page. It goes a long way to helping me and supporting the work that I do here on this channel as well as my Twitch channel. My dear friends, thank you all for being you. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. God bless. Do widzenia.
I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time, something I look back and say that was a great time, 'cause man, I just hate when the years pass by the